What is up, Facebook? Sorry, guys. A little backwards there. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. All the tips, they are coming to you. They're not all the tips. They're just the few off the top of my head. I have a lot of new followers every week. Welcome. My name is Brea Owen. I'm usually always drinking something. I'm a Keto Primal Health Coach, and I love coming on and just sharing a lot of tips because a lot of people are going keto for really good reasons, but a lot of people get really confused because when you Google keto, there's just a lot of things that it could end up kind of being like a little bit of a shit show. Sorry, but you know what I'm saying? Hi, Shannon. Hi, Don. How is your guys' Monday? Here, let me give you a little Monday tip. It's here. Make the best of it, right? Like, freaking who cares? Like when I get like in that state of overwhelm or there's just too much and people around you tend to be like really negative, like I kind of just started off being like, who freaking cares? Who freaking cares? Like me and Maggie will do the funniest stuff but we're like, yeah, F Monday. Like just own it, F it, who cares? Who freaking cares? It's the same stuff. Just lead your mind in a different direction and make it an amazing Monday. All these things are always going to come at you. People that are having problems in their life or their energy's off, they will come at you. Like you just got to go and you just got to be laser focused and you got to be determined to make it a good day and a good week and go with it. And that's it. End of story. That it could be that simple. Seriously, that simple. Make it a point to set yourself up to just know it's going to be a good Monday. You're in charge of it. You're in charge of it. Who cares what comes at you? Seriously, stuff comes at everybody. So anyways, just a little, there's some few posts on my page. There's like Monday overwhelm, and Monday tends to be a stressful day anyway. And if you just kind of change your mindset with it, it's like, whatever. It doesn't, whatever. Literally, that's what I do. All right, you guys. So I'm going to give you a few tips. I always like to throw a few tips out there. If you've been following me for a while, you know a lot of these tips, so no big deal. But I got to say hi to the new people. The new people need some love, and sometimes they need some direction because it's very overwhelming. One thing I will say when people come with me for coaching is I just remove a lot of things that they were doing that they thought were keto approved or okay, which they're fine, but they just might not be working for you, right? So a lot of people come to me, they've already done years and years of yo-yo dieting where their body might not do well with all of that fat or all of those swap recipes, or they might be emotionally eating and they still are emotionally eating and just converting their foods into different foods, right? So what I'm gonna say is you gotta kind of address those things and know that it's there. Acknowledgement, it will do everything. Hi, Karen. So I'll start just by a few tips because I can give so many, but I'm gonna say maybe remove snacks. If you're snacking and learning all the keto snacks, maybe remove snacks. If you're following me and you wanna go to keto for weight loss, you're gonna end up being in a surplus rather than a deficit, and the snacks will add up very quick. So if you're driving home from work and you have your snacky keto food, oh my gosh, I just threw off my ring, that was hilarious. Using my hands a lot today, and you have almonds or something like that in your car. Well, you can eat so many almonds because it's just snack. You're not even acknowledging what you're doing, and it can add up so quick. And then you go home, and then you have the food that you had planned on your new keto plan to eat, and it could just all add up. So I would remove the snacks. Another reason you want to remove the snacks anyways, because a lot of times you go keto, you're trying to heal your metabolism and your insulin resistance. That's all related. And every time you're snacking, your insulin levels are going up and down. So just remove the snacks. If you're out and about and you're too busy to eat, figure out how to plan those meals when you're out and about. A lot of my clients will make like I have a green smoothie recipe, and they'll have it in the cup that keeps it cold. I'm totally blanking on that. And then when they drink it later, it tastes totally fine. So that's something that takes 5 minutes in the morning to prep, and we've made the green smoothie really good. And it tastes delicious. It's gonna fulfill you. You're gonna get tons of nutrients in, and you're not gonna sit there and snack on the almonds that can add up. Make sense? Yeah, it's always good to be reminded too. A lot of people might know this information, but then you veer off because you get some kind of temptation or add this in here, and then there's a creep, and then the creep is like the carb creep, the calorie creep, and then you're not getting your results and you wonder why, right? So one thing I do as well is I drop cheese completely. If I'm stalling out, I would say be very limited on your cheese anyway. Your body has a hard time digesting it. Definitely like the pack of shredded cheese. Like if that's in your diet right now, like remove that. If you're gonna add a little bit of goat cheese or some kind of like, hi Joanna, I miss you girl, fancier cheese, then maybe add that in, or maybe just eliminate it all for a while to see how you do. You'll notice when you have cheese or anything dairy, there's definitely a bloat factor there, and you'll notice immediately in your body, right? Another thing is simplify. Simplify your plan. Don't go learning all the keto things and try to do too many things at once. Figure out a few recipes that look good, plan for those recipes, prep them, and go handle it. Have those, because the overwhelm will have way too many options is going to be too many calories. That's just how it is. It doesn't mean you have to restrict. It means simplify. Don't make it so difficult. Like just simplify it. Go for it. Put it on repeat. It's a whole nother thing that I can get into. Figure out your staples that work for you, right? So a lot of people will say about at nighttime. They go off plan at nighttime. I could elaborate on this on so many different levels. You're not alone. Exhaustion kicks in at night. We become it's almost like that negative voice comes in, right? And you need to calm it. You need to check that negative voice. Have some tea, light a candle, meditate. I literally have a tea party. Everyone asks me, what teas are you doing? What teas are you doing? Rather than thinking of a snack to go to, hi Daryl, rather than like sorry, I was reading the comments, a snack to go to, I actually am like, which tea am I gonna have? So I'm gonna give you a few of them to show you. I think I showed them the other day, but I have this Puka Love one, and I love chamomile. Here's another thing, the chamomile relaxes you. So and I love the flavor of the chamomile tea, so I just have a variety, which you could do any teas, right? You probably don't want to do like black tea, you might stay up too late. But you want that anxiety to you want to start calming your mind down. So I kind of like build this little sanctuary where I'm like, and it's simple sanctuary, okay, I'm sitting on my chair, I'm winding down, I stop working, I light a candle, and I have my teas. And honestly, I have like 3. I'm just kind of obsessed with them right now. But I love this other Puka one. It's chamomile vanilla and manuka honey. Don't worry, there's no like large quantity of honey in there, it's just the flavor. And another one, I love when there's lavender in them. They're my favorite. So I've started a collection of chamomile teas. I'll sit outside, I'll take a walk outside, and that stops me from snacking at night, right? Intermittent fasting, you should be involving into intermittent fasting if you go keto primal, because your appetite should be suppressed, and that will help simplify your plan. You can do all of these things in a much simpler way without going over a surplus if you just simplify your plan. Have your meals planned. I'm usually at 3 meals or 2 meals a day. Some people do 1 meal. I don't think that really works for my clients because there's an emotional aspect to it, and you could be overdoing that plate, and then your body has to digest it, and then you're not going into a fat loss zone. So simplifying is huge. Don't do all the keto things. Find a few things that you want to do and put it into play. Another big tip is lead with meat. Don't lead with fat. Leading with fat in the beginning might help you get fat adapted. You could do that, or you can have exogenous ketones so you're not tortured, right? Because you want ketones in your body. But then pull it out and lead with meat. The meat can have fat in it, and build some veggies around it. Don't go in make sure your food's working for you. There's amazing, delicious food. I'm telling you, if you guys like ribeyes, make yourself a ribeye. Do it up, have a ribeye, whatever meat you love. I actually still really love chicken, which is crazy because I ate chicken breast for so long with no fat. So what I do is I lead with that meat because I like it, and then I add a little fat to it, like avocado, right? So I'm still leading with meat. I flavor with fat, and then I have veggies. And then I have a little bit of fat, like an oil, on veggies. People are like, how do I get the fat in? You just flavor your food with it. Don't lead with it, though. Fat bombs don't work for me. They don't work for my clientele. It's not who comes to me, and if it works for you, that's great, but it absolutely does not work for a little fat bomb. Is like a recipe where it's usually like coconut oil, peanut butter, all mixed up, and it's very caloric dense. So just know if you have those things in your plan and you're not losing weight, that could be why, because if you have these things that are very dense in calories, you're going over into a surplus. So pull that out, stop snacking, remove the nuts. I always say that, I just can't help it. Add tea. I do black coffee. I pull the fat out of my coffee. And initially when people start coaching with me, I have them sometimes put that in their coffee because they're adjusting to this new way of life. If you're coming from a place where you're having tons of carbs and that's going to work for you to suppress your appetite, then go for it. And then eventually you're able to pull it. It's not necessary, and that pulls you into a longer window of intermittent fasting where your body is actually healing during those hours. So it's a lot of information at first, but I don't know where you're at on your journey, but I just like to be really helpful. And one thing immediately when people come into my realm of coaching is they stop snacking, they pull the cheese. There's a lot of results there. I deal with a lot of women with mindset and emotional eating and self-sabotage and stuff like that. And the nighttime thing seems to be a common thread. Like it's like the anxiety creeps up at night, and you're not alone. You're totally normal. Like, this life is stressful. This life is hard. So no, give yourself permission to shut down at night and just stop. You are totally allowed to. Like, no one can tell you that you are not. And if somebody is telling you you're not allowed to shut down, then they're not the right person that's supposed to be around you. Makes sense? A lot of times it's you putting that pressure on yourself, and I know because I'm the queen of that. Hi Rachel, how are you? So I have this regimen of having nuts. Another big tip, having tea. Another big tip is what's in your cabinet that can throw you off. If you're really committed to a lifestyle change, make your kitchen match your priorities. Right? Like, there's nothing in my kitchen that I could dig into. It's literally laced up with amazing food and no snacky food. So if 10 o'clock at night I feel hungry, well then maybe that's a legit hunger pain, because the only option I'm going to give myself is the option to grab the prepped food I have in there, which is usually like chicken or whatever meat I have, an egg dish, like I have that stuff prepped. So if I'm really hungry, then my body will want that at that time. If you're like, no, I don't really want that. Well, guess what? You were just, it was an anxiety thing, an emotional thing, an attachment. So you gotta be able to identify that and learn to break that, right? And that's usually stress related. You not believing in your self-worth or believing that you could actually do this. And you have to start there. You really have to change that. And I get it, because trust me, I have to work with that every single day. And so do a lot of people, but you're not alone. You're absolutely not alone. And you can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to, right? But you might as well put the physical stuff around it and set yourself up for success. So that's just one of my strategies I go to for nighttime. It's not even that I want to snack at night now. It's just that I really look forward to going into that place where I have tea, have a candle lit, and completely shut down. Because when I have my own business, so I can go all day long working. I can go seriously, I could go 24 hours a day. And it's almost like that time comes where I'm excited to completely shut down and not think about anything. Love it. I'm just reading a few comments, you guys. Yeah, Karen, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. I don't know if you're new to me. I don't think you're new to me. When you have family members that buy a lot of bad snacks, I am around a lot of people, right? Like, I've always been in a relationship where he can eat whatever he wants. Like my ex-husband and my ex-boyfriend, their metabolisms are fired up. They're never going to eat like I wanted to eat. So it becomes a habit once you become strong in it, but you have to give yourself a break for a while. If there's too much temptation around you and people that pull you in the wrong direction, which is really, you have to own it, that's you yourself, right? But you're able to put yourself first where you can pull away from those surroundings for a while. And I've given the tips with food, like with your family, say it's your kids or your husband and what they want in there. There's gotta be a middle ground where there's stuff in there that they can have. And hi Bob, that where they can have it, but you don't want it. There's always food they have. If they're eating whatever, there's always food they have that doesn't tempt you, right? I mean, you're really able to clean that environment up for a while until you become really strong. Marty, no. She does this when I'm on camera. I have trained her to seriously do this. It's insane. So now I have to untrain her. Not catering to you right now. I will cater to you after the live. If you guys are new to me, my dog makes appearances on my lives. It's all right. It's his real life. Let me give you an example. If I love ice cream, which I did love ice cream. I loved ice cream. Who didn't? And I was making this change, and I decided I have to do this for myself because I am unhappy. I am unhappy, and I need to make this change. I need to find out your whys, the bigger whys. I go through this in my group a lot. Your bigger whys are so, so important. Like, I need to be a grandmother to my grandchild one day. That's way down the line. It better be way down the line. But I'm still able to see that big picture right now, right? So when you put that perspective into it, you can set some boundaries around you to where, like, I can't have the ice cream. When I was still tempted to eat that ice cream, I wouldn't be able to have the ice cream in there for a little bit. There's other things they can have, but that's my biggest temptation, right? Like, if there's, I mean, I say this often, if there's like white chocolate with sprinkles somewhere, because I absolutely love that, I can't have it in these cabinets because that nighttime creep's gonna come and I'm gonna go to it. So know that, like, don't set yourself up for failure thinking I can hold off on this, because the person you feel like you are in the daytime when you're super motivated, the more like tired person at night that has more anxiety might not be able to restrict from that. So you have to really own like what you really love. If you love Oreos, you can't have, and I'm good, I can resist them. I'm on a plan, blah, blah, blah. No, that might creep up on you at night. So you might not want those around you, right? I even have like Lily's bars, chocolate bars. I allow them in my plan. You can do chocolate when you do keto, and you can do fancy chocolate too. However, at night, I put them in the fridge in the garage because I will completely like think I can have a little bite here, and then it throws off my whole plan. So, just know that, and those are just some of my tips. I said a lot because I always have to elaborate, and I don't mean to. But I'm saying, if you have nuts in your plan because they're keto, pull that out. A lot of people that have been with me for a while have already done that. Cheese might be a factor. Cheese can make dishes, like vegetable dishes, really good, but they can also make them really dense, right? So if say I had, like, on my Trader Joe's video the other day, I made like a cauliflower like cheese bake, right? And the cheese was good. I really fancy with my cheese. But I'm not going to lead my plate with that ever, because it'll add up too quick, right? Like, I'm going to lead my plate with the meat that I made, and then maybe have that as a little accent on there. So I hope that makes sense. Any questions before I head out? Light your candle and relax, okay? I could go on this forever, you guys. You got to get yourself into a Zen place. We all work really hard. Like, light a candle, black it out, forget what's going on in your life. There's always going to be stuff happening every single day. Build yourself a little sanctuary. Like just shut it down. Shut it down. You are allowed to. And it's so hard for me to shut it down. So if I could do it, I know you could do it. But I hope you guys have an amazing day, and these tips are very helpful. Share this if this is helpful, and you know, everybody needs help on their journey, and I'm right here for you. So I love you guys, and I hope you have an amazing, amazing week. See you. I gotta go feed my dog all of a sudden.